Gen Z is finally waking up to the reality that they've been scammed.
Oh, that's impossible.
Yes, YN, you drank the Kool-Aid. You believed the Kumbaya, Black Lives Matter, and whatever other corporate nonsense they threw at you. In this video, Selling Slop to Your Own People by Trap University, I'm gonna break down exactly how and why I believe Gen Z is finally waking up to the fact that they've been scammed.
Restaurants. Everyone wants to open one, even though most of them end up closing. Megan Thee Stallion opened a Popeyes in Miami, and Rick Ross bought a Checkers in Carroll City.
I'm still not up on the almond.
Oh, no, Ross.
Rose's still frightened.
No.
Is it from the almond of the walnut?
Man, shut your...
And he even made a song about it called Buy Back the Block. Chicken slop and burger slop being promoted by celebrities. Nothing new, like when Carl's Jr. paid that one girl who's definitely too rich to eat fast food to pretend she likes eating fast food. Like, look at this burger, bro. Pretty much every time somebody from even a slightly impoverished background becomes a successful entertainer who opens a restaurant, it's always specifically targeted at a low-income community.
When is y'all gonna understand? You is not allowed to help your people as a black celebrity. You cannot help the hood.
And what exactly do you mean by that, sir?
It's in the contract. Don't you know The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he has in his contract has been revealed. He is not allowed to get beaten up in any movie.
Have you heard of the no-lose clause in actors' contracts?
The no-lose clause in an actor's contract? That doesn't make sense.
It's wild. So there was a video of The Rock on a red carpet playing rock, paper, scissors with an influencer. He lost to her in rock, paper, scissors because she cheated. He got all pissed off, like actually mad, which was crazy because he never loses.
Was she delivering early?
She went rock, paper, scissors and didn't say shoot.
Oh.
And he had the rock, so she went paper. Moral of the story, there's a clause in his contract called the no-lose clause. The clause guarantees that he can never be bested or beaten by anyone on screen.
Oh.
So like any movie that he's in, he will never lose a fight.
Wait, that's insane.
He will never die in a movie.
Really?
He will never lose in a fight.
Is this just The Rock? Are there other actors?
There's 3 actors that I know have it. So The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Jason Statham.
You know what? If there's 3 actors that were going to have the no-lose clause, it just kind of makes sense for those 3 to be
Isn't
in.
that
I would have thought
insane?
maybe Bruce Willis would be on there.
I mean,
Maybe
he might
has
be.
it.
I think there's like 22 or something. So it's basically just a testament to him committing to maintaining his alpha male character.
Yeah.
Which is a little like
It's a
kind of
branding
psycho.
thing. Yeah, it is psycho.
It's in your contract. Allegedly, we don't know. But what other reason could it be? You think everybody just don't want to help nobody? It's in your contract. Once we give you these M's, you cannot help the impoverished black people from your old community, from no future community. And that's the scam of Gen Z. I'm not saying that Gen Z is scamming people. I'm saying you drank the Kool-Aid. This is stuff that my great-grandfather knew, the silent generation. This is what his father knew, the actual boomers. This is what he taught to his children. That's us, the quote-unquote slackers from Generation X. That's what we try to teach to our children, the millennials who turned out having the Gen Zers. And unfortunately, none of us wanted to listen. And here we are. But continue, bro.
We up here in the gas station / Wendy's / Starbucks. You get a burger, get you some gas, and get you some coffee to stay on the road for another 5 hours in this joint.
I'll give Megan credit though for opening her store in Miami Beach. Definitely not a low-income area. Let's say I become very wealthy, and then I buy a Burger King in a rough neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. Should my fellow Chicagoans be happy for me? Like I said, Rick Ross made a whole song about buying a Checkers, and in the song he also rapped about Wingstop, Taco Bell, and buying a Sonic. And it's always framed as investing in your community, but in reality, these people no longer live in these communities, just profiting from it. If I was a millionaire, why would I want to profit from poor people buying greasy slop?
Oh, that's easy, because poor people spend the most money.
That was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I know it doesn't seem like it, but poor people can't think of nothing better to do when they get their money is let it burn a hole in their pocket. Unfortunately, we've all been brainwashed to think like that. Now you, as a person who happens to be poor, might not look at it like that, but everybody around you damn sure do look at it like that. And if you don't, you're the weirdo. Tell me I'm wrong, people in the audience listening to this. When you decide you want to do something right with your money, how many people are with you? It's a handful, if you even got a full hand. How many people is against you? You got a hand, a foot, a arm, a leg, a head, and a shoulders? Good Lord, ain't nobody on your side. But have we all been socially engineered to think like that? Egg-headed nerd-ass niggas, as we would call them in the hood, would say so. But let's keep going, though.
I know we all eat fast food, but we know it's unhealthy. We might kind of downplay just how unhealthy it is, but it's not like these guys are doing the hood a favor by opening a restaurant in it. Some of the best restaurants are already in the hood. I'm not saying I don't think people should own restaurants in certain neighborhoods. I just don't get why it's always pushed as something that's going to empower a neighborhood or inspire somebody.
Continuing with the theme of Gen Z drank the Kool-Aid, this is a part of why whatever you're allowed to do financially for your community is pushed as it's going to empower a neighborhood or inspire somebody. Just think of it like this. If rappers was talking about get some land.
Let's get together, get some land. Raise our food like the man.
Get married. Raise your children to know correct family values. Because we've been conditioned to think that sounds corny, it sounds like some lame shit. But if you think about it, black people being able to drink from the same water fountain as white people sounded like some lame shit for a good 300 years in this country. And I don't want to harp on that and hurt the delicate feelings of these Gen Zers, but you drank the Kool-Aid. You've been scammed into thinking nobody thinks like that no more. Only these old heads. That's a product of their generation. We've evolved. We're more progressive. Ooh, I bet you wish that were true. We thought it would be true in our generation too. But our parents and grandparents told us, don't you believe them folks? Because they thought change was going to come for them too. And they saw when JFK, MLK, and MX got murked, oh no, it's not what we thought it was. Not even close.
Like, bro, I'm happy for you, but I ain't inspired by you owning no fast food restaurant. When T.I. was talking to Atlanta News First about opening his restaurant, Trap City Cafe, wow, he went on a short rant about people in Atlanta not being able to afford living in Atlanta. Meanwhile, it cost $20 to park at his restaurant. During the 2 or so years it was open, it was just an expensive place in general. To be fair to him though, T.I. did help with the development of an affordable housing complex in Atlanta that's actually pretty nice, and it's actually affordable. And sure, a restaurant is a business, and opening one creates some new jobs, but I think the wrong idea has been pushed around people doing this. The Rick Ross song is just a perfect example though, of the misleading part. He says buy back the block, or buy the block back, whatever. But what do you mean by back? Like you grew up in a poor neighborhood where people from outside of the neighborhood own all the stores and restaurants?
Sadly, a lot of us don't realize the block was never ours. That's just where the black people lived at, the slaves who then turned into the sharecroppers. I know we gotta go back to the 18s and, oh my God, your birthday starts with a 19? Yes, dummy, and this is why they say if you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. You better believe members of Congress, 1, they're married. 2, their children know their history. You better believe Barron Trump is going to be married and he already knows his history. Why don't you know yours, dummy? Well, this is a conspiracy part because the Rockefellers didn't want a nation of thinkers. He wants a nation of workers. But that's a different conversation altogether. It just is connected with this one. The block was never ours. The block is just where the black people live at. It's just where the sharecroppers were, because we're not going to hire you black people to work with us. We'll hire other impoverished people, but you black people specifically, we're not gonna hire you. I'm not saying that out of racism. I'm saying that out of, that was the law in this country, was the law. That's how I take to mean what Kanye West said when he said slavery was a choice. The people enslaving you are the ones who chose to let you go. It's just like a human trafficker. He kidnapped you, but when he chooses to let you go, he'll let you go unless you just escape. What if there was laws saying you can escape? And if we catch you from escaping, we take you back to the human trafficker. God forbid if that was a thing, but in America it was. You didn't know that? Well, this is what I mean by the block was never ours. So the whole notion of buy the block back, like I said in the beginning, when we give you these M's, Toby, you bet not go and help these other people that look like you. Read your fucking contract. We could just get rid of you like we did XXX allegedly. Allegedly, we don't know that happened, Gen Z, but let's keep it pushing.
Okay, but when you're in Miami, you live in Miami Beach.
How long have you been stalking me? Please be honest.
No, not that long.
So now, the people who live in Carroll City just have the same experience that you did, where people from outside of the community are profiting from the business there. But again, we're gonna be fair, Rick Ross does give back in Miami, and he has for years. But then you have DJ Khaled.
Have you ever played rugby?
He opened a soul food restaurant in one of the worst neighborhoods in Chicago. But I ain't gonna lie, this chicken and red velvet waffles, I actually never even heard of this place, but I would have definitely came in here just for this. But why, Khaled?
Man, you must be new or something, man. We the best, man.
Who do you know on the west side of Chicago for you to open this restaurant right here? Is it because he knows the people in richer neighborhoods don't listen to him? I would understand more if they just acted like soulless executives and just opened the restaurant without pretending it was some big thing. According to the restaurant CFO, the idea Khaled had behind this restaurant was to, quote, cater to the underserved African American community. Like, what? Underserved? But why? I used to live over here, bro. I was never underserved. The food was already good before this place existed. I love food, but you know, it's just like taking a sponsorship. If McDonald's offers you $20,000 to do an ad, you could take it, but then you'd be an advocate for slop. You might love McDonald's. You might have some good memories of you and your friends chilling and eating at McDonald's, but one day you have to come to a realization, just like I did. Many times when I make a video, I get comments from people who didn't know about something until they watched my video. And so many times I've seen people agree with something I say partially because they trust my opinion. So that means that someone is learning from me and also kind of having their opinion shaped by me. So imagine if I said, go support my business by eating a greasy cheeseburger so I can buy a Mercedes. Thanks guys, couldn't have done it without you. Like damn, I can eat a cheeseburger and you can too. It's hard enough for me to lay off the burgers and milkshakes. But I don't need you having high blood pressure on my conscience. Money can't clear your conscience. Some people can put all that to the side, but I can't. And it's not the only way to make money. It is actually much healthier to just push slop videos on YouTube than to push cheeseburgers.
Well, both are equally damaging to humans. Food slop damages your health. YouTube slop potentially damages your mental health. Like you said, if people are following you and they believe what you say, if me, the evil, greedy corporation, can get you to say some negative stuff, these people who you would influence positively, you'll now influence them negatively. Well, to you and them, it's negative, but to me, it's positive. I get their money. I get to slowly kill them with my slop, whether it's visual or edible. You get your M's. Here, Trap City, have your M's, and the masses get to still be lost. Everybody wins at the end of the day while we still waiting for the Anunnaki or the Antichrist to come down and destroy everybody. Everybody wins. Allegedly. That's a conspiracy. We don't know that that's really what's going on. But continue, brother.
But surely that's it. And there's no correlation between poor neighborhoods and fast food, because that would just be downright evil. It's not like redlining, the illegal practice from the 1930s to the 1960s where banks refused to give home loans and insurance to poor and minority neighborhoods, somehow led to fast food now being more common in those areas, partially due to the property value being so cheap. Right? That's not true, is it? Well, I didn't say it, but a few studies did. And it's just a theory based on studies trying to figure out the aftermath of redlining, which is kind of crazy since some of the people in these areas were being illegally excluded from loans that would have helped them buy a house. The generations that came after didn't inherit anything because, well, the parents and grandparents couldn't own a home in certain places. And now, allegedly, these same people are being targeted by the corporate interests of unhealthy fast food. Supposedly. But that all seems kind of political, so we'll stay away from that. So is this selling slop to your own people? I'm sure that many people who visit restaurants owned or in partnerships with entertainers have no idea of those entertainers' involvement. Like, surely, if you went to this random Checkers in Carroll City, you wouldn't just know it was owned by Rick Ross. Or if you went to this random Popeyes in Miami Beach, you probably wouldn't know it had anything to do with Megan Thee Stallion. So it's not that serious, I guess. I suppose the main problem I have is this idea of becoming wealthy and buying your old neighborhood. Because it sounds one way, but in reality, it plays out completely different. Investing in your old neighborhood can either be you building an expensive restaurant, but also providing cheaper housing. It can be you buying a greasy burger spot while you yourself are on a health journey, or it can just be you putting a super unhealthy restaurant in the hood and then acting like the neighborhood needed a restaurant because, I don't know, you've heard someone say the term food desert before, which is what I think happened to DJ Khaled. Areas that are a little rough around the edges are sometimes described as food deserts, which doesn't mean it lacks restaurants. It actually refers to a lack of healthy and fresh food in the area, meaning that in a poor neighborhood, fast food, whether it's a chain or not, is usually the only option when eating out. And this is not just in the city and minority communities. Visit any small rural town in the United States of America and you will find no healthy options. This is very much an American thing in general. In fact, the south side of Chicago has a much wider variety of food, from fast food to healthy food, than any small town I've ever been to. Any small town that wasn't an affluent suburb, of course. But whatever, we know how it goes. Money. If it makes money, it's gonna be done. Just like Angel Reese and David Beckham with McDonald's. Because if there's one thing you need to fuel your body to become a professional athlete, it's a Big Mac. But alright, I didn't mean to have a whole philosophical debate, which is what this would have turned into if I kept going. I'm not trying to hate on small business or a big artist doing business, it's just a thought I had, but let me know what you guys think. But I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
So, it looks like Gen Z is finally starting to wake up to being scammed. You have been scammed, but Generation X was scammed. The generation before that. If you was in America, you have been scammed. I hope you loved this video. Hope you liked the video, hype the video, share the video, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you.